Hey guys, welcome to Munich. It's actually July 15. By the time you're watching this video, it's probably September 5th because that's the embargo date of this spectacular car right behind me. And this is the BMW iX3. Before we get into the details of this car when it comes to the design, even though I have a full design review with the head of design, Oliver Heimer, I'm going to touch a little bit on this, then of course on the specs and all of that. But before all of this, let me tell you the story of the BMW iX3. This project started with a Vision X concept a couple of years ago, and now it's finally here. This is one of the most important products that BMW has to offer because it will set the stage for the Neue Klasse lineup, which will come in the next 4 years. As a matter of fact, they're actually planned about 40 models to have the Neue Klasse technology within the next couple of years. So needless to say, this is a quite important product for the brand because it sets the stage for the next decade, if not more than that. So with that being said, I'm not going to bore you with all these details. We're going to jump right in and we're going to start with the design of the car. Luckily, it has not changed a lot from the concept, and that's one thing that I love quite a bit because BMW is known about offering a very cool looking concept car, and then you get a production series, it's been dialed down, toned down, and it looks almost nothing like that car. It's not this case. So as you can see, you have this new kidney grille. It's not elongated like before. You have these vertical kidneys right there, very, very small compared to what you've seen on the regular Neue Klasse sedan. And that car we will see next year as well. So brand new design here. You have also this new interpretation of the kidney grille with the lights. Compared to the concept car, you have this 3 lines right there, which according to the head of design, it actually aims to give you more depth, to give you more a 3D look at the front. Once again, light right there. So that's the interpretation of the kidney grille. Headlights, of course, they have changed quite a bit. No more headlamps, no more round headlamps. You have now this slanted lights that you've seen on newer BMW products. Once again, that's something that you will see in other cars as well. If you look at the kidney grille one more time, you can see here a lot of depth in there as well. So it's nicely sculpted in there. So that's quite nice because it gives, once again, that 3D look at the front. Of course, it's illuminated. And you also have the driver assistance cameras and all of that integrated within this space right there, which is a lot better than what you see today in the design. The hood, once again, typical BMW design. You have this center crease, which once again aims to give the car a very, very aggressive look at the front. Of course, the nose is also angled a little bit. And then you have 2 additional creases on the sides. You can see them. They run right there and then connect to the headlights right there. I'm not going to talk too much about this because the design review that I've done with the head of design is a lot more comprehensive and I don't want to take away from that. So I'm going to leave a link to that video as well. Now, if we move to the side, let's briefly talk about the car. And I'm going to give you some of the specs on this one when it comes to the length and width. So because I just got information, I'm going to have to use my phone to read off this one. So in length, it's actually 4.78 meters long. As you can see, it is quite elongated. We're going to talk about the interior space based on that as well. When we're talking about the width, it's 1.89 meters and the height is 1.63 meters. The wheelbase, it will be 2.89 meters. The track width at the front, it's 1.62 and the track width in the rear, 1.63 meters. I'm going to leave on the screen the conversion to inches as well. Since I have this in front of me, I'm going to talk about the load capacity, which is 520 liters, and it can be expanded to 1750 liters. Once again, as you can see from the side, as I talk in the design review, it is quite clean. It's got similar shapes that we've seen on other BMW products right there. No more spats in different colors. You see very, very clean design lines, only this crease right there, which tends to break the height of the car. Gives also a bit more sportiness to the side view of the car. But other than that, very, very clean. One thing I want to point out, and I did it in the other video as well, it's this thing right there. It might not be noticeable immediately, but as you can see, you don't have that rubber that kind of sticks out on other models. This is very, very clean. You can barely see right there. And BMW is quite proud about this achievement because it gives a cleaner look on the side. Designers' worst dream is usually having to design a door handle. They always like the flush, clean look of the cars. We've seen it today where you have this flush door handle, but there is a cutout right there. So that has implication when it comes to aerodynamics. This one, all you have to do is this. It comes out. You push on it and then you just close it. The roofline, if you look from the side view, once again, a little bit more coupe than on the regular X3. One thing that's also the same as on the X3 G45, the gasoline version, is the fact that the sunroof, it's not retractable. and we will show that from the inside as well. You have 20 to 22-inch wheels on the car. This one, it's a 22. They're different wheel design as well. This one, it's a BMW individual. It's aero optimized, as you can see. So if you care about efficiency, you're always gonna go with this design. If you care more about looks, you're gonna go with the more open spokes, which gives the car a more aggressive, more sporty look right there. The tires on this one are from Pirelli. I'm assuming they're all seasons. I can't really tell. But once again, you'll have a lot more options when it comes to that. Hofmeister kink right there, so that's kind of nice. The BMW pays homage to that. Then you also have this little nice kink. Moving to the back, once again, a lot of design elements from the Neue Klasse Vision Concept X. So you're retaining the same taillights with these LEDs inside. In typical BMW fashion, they want to retain their iconic elements, which means it's got more of an L shape, and you can see it right there. These lights lit up as well. Let me talk about the logo. It's been changed quite a bit. You can see you have not only newer fonts, but you also have this shiny part, and that's the matte black right there. And even this section has been redesigned a little bit, and you can actually touch it, and once you touch it, you will feel the ridges between the two. It looks actually really, really cool. I had a chance to see it at the front too, and I absolutely like that new logo. So you will notice the coupe roofline once again. You have this aerodynamic feature right there with this valley, as they call it. They have another valley right here, so you have this symmetry coming from the top to the bottom. Oliver talked about this quite a bit, so I absolutely encourage you to watch that video. I just wanted to point this out in case you will not see that video. Along with these horizontal elements, you're also starting to get some vertical elements, so you can see the reflectors right there, and also these kinks in the diffuser. Why? Well, because it gives the car a more aggressive, more sporty look from the back. And if you have the reflectors in a vertical way, it emphasizes the width of the car. And if you come around, you know, I'm gonna ask Patrick, who's filming me today, to show you this, but you can see also that the shoulders, they stick out quite a bit. You might be asking why? Well, for two reasons. One, design-wise, gives the car this really nice shoulder, love that, but it also helps with aerodynamics to connect everything together in the back between the horizontal and the vertical lines. They also have these slanted design elements in the bumper, and you can see them right there as well. And that's the connection between the vertical lines and the horizontal. Always BMW is thinking about how to bring everything together to look kind of cohesive in many ways. Since we're here, let me show you the trunk quickly. If you open this up, 520 liters, as I've said, can be expanded to 1750. You can also see the storage space right there, which you have it also for the charging cable. But let me show you something cool that I like about this car. I actually did a bit for social media, but I'm gonna do it one more time so you can see it. I can take this thing off, basically, fold it right there. So what do you do with this? Well, once again, you open this up. If the cable is not there, you can basically just store this like that. You can see it fits nicely, and now you can close it. So quite nice. Of course, it's a European spec, so if you push this, you're getting also the tow hook, and I believe it can tow up to 2,000 kilograms. I think the US doesn't get the electric tow hook, as always, but once again, if you live in Europe, you will have this option. So let me close this up. So that was the design on the outside. How about we go inside? I'm gonna show you quickly the design there, and then we're gonna talk about some other specs. So let me open the door. You can see it push right there. Pull this door out, and I'm gonna have a seat here. And we can talk about this brand new steering wheel. You have two options. You have this one with the spokes at 6 and 12 o'clock. If you don't like this one, you have another version, which you get the spokes at 4 and 8. You have an empty space right there. This one is tricky because if you don't see the logo, you do see it right now, then you would think that the steering is upside down, but it's not. I had a chance to drive the prototype. This was covered, and it was kind of weird because I wasn't sure where the steering is pointing to. Flat top, flat bottom. You might be asking why. Well, the flat bottom, just like in current BMW products, it helps quite a bit when you go in and out of the car, because if you're tall, you can actually slide your leg right there a lot easier than if you had like a round shape. The other steering wheel, it's round, the one with the 4 and 8. So if you like the round shape, you will have that option as well. We've seen this type of steering wheel in the presentation at CES. So once again, you have haptic buttons. I did a full video on iDrive X, so I am gonna leave the link to that as well, and you can see how this works. But haptic buttons, when you touch them, you don't really hear them. The right side controls a lot of the features of the Panoramic iDrive. So I'm gonna show you that in the iDrive X video. On the left side, you're gonna control the ADAS, the assistant driver features. And we've done a full video on that as well when we were in Miramar, so you can watch that as well. Overall design, very, very clean, which means less buttons than before. Not ideal. I've been saying this for many, many years, but I knew it's coming. There are even less buttons than before. no more iDrive controller. So if you have one today, enjoy, because it's gone in this one. Why? Because BMW is saying that the voice assistant, it's much better in this car than any other cars before, and you can do a lot of the functions via voice. You can still use touch, and iDrive X works brilliantly. I had a chance to use it today, but also had a chance to use it a few months ago when I did the pre-drive, and it's absolutely responsive. A lot better layout, a lot easier to use. You can do a lot more horizontal swiping than vertical. That helps quite a bit. Also have this quick things on the left side. What I do like about this screen, it's the fact that the ergonomics are a lot better. 17.9 inches, slanted towards the driver, which means that it's easier to reach the functions on the screen versus having to kind of do this with the current screens. They kind of curve around and you have to do that. So a lot easier to activate features and use them, but not having to stretch your arm too much. Centerpiece, Panoramic Vision, so you can customize that. You can have just the mandatory legal information on the left side, which is the speed, the drive, so on and so forth, and you can reduce them on the right side, but you can customize that in many different ways, and we're going to be talking about that in the future. How does it work? It's a projection onto the screen. You don't see it right there, but it's right there. So essentially, let's say that the windshield breaks. I'm sure it's not going to be a lot more expensive than it is today to replace it, because it's not actually part of the screen. It's a matrix technology that's being projected, and it works quite well under the sun as well. I had a chance to drive it in Miramar, and everything was very legible. You still have a 3D head-up display, which unfortunately I can't see it right now, but you'll have a chance to see it in the other videos when I did a pre-drive, and you can see how that works. Other design features that I like, you have this vertical integration of wireless charging. Also have this thing that they call the jewelry box, but essentially cup holders, fancy cup holders that you can store things on there. You can also see this floating centerpiece with storage underneath. And of course you got more storage right there. That's the drive control, right? So you got only the mandatory buttons and the volume right there, but not too many buttons and switches in the car, including the switches for the vents. If you want to control now the vents direction, you have to do it through the iDrive system. The seats are also new. You can see a different type of headrest, a little bit sculpted in. So that's completely different. And even the seat shape, I'm going to show you in the B-roll. If you can see it right now, they are very different space-wise. I mean, I'm going to adjust the seats a little bit. This will be my driving position. In the back seat, I was told that you have actually a lot more leg room than in the regular X3. It's actually comparable in leg room to the BMW X5, which is quite impressive. And this was achieved by the fact that this is an EV-first platform, which allows for better packaging inside and out. Quality-wise, you have different options. So you get this fabric in some of the offerings. You can get different type of materials. I haven't seen them yet in the car, but apparently I'll have a chance to see them in September. By the time this video is out, I'll be able to show you in a different video some other materials that you can get, like Veganza and other options, even plastic. So if you don't like fabric, you will have that option. This one actually has lights behind it, so if you change the color inside the car, you'll be able to see through this. I'm not sure if that will apply to the other materials, probably not. I mean, they're not see-through, so might be the only option that you're getting to see the lights with this one. If you look on the door panel right here, the controls are a little bit of higher quality than in the BMW X3. So that one right there feels a little bit better than the other car. And also these controls are a little bit higher quality than the BMW X3. You can see the integration of the Harman Kardon right there and right there as well. And this nice sculpture into the door that gives you some additional lateral space. Okay, what else we haven't covered inside? So you have, once again, the sunroof. You know, you can change the opacity on that one. So nothing new there. The only thing that you can do, you cannot open this one. I was told that one, not a lot of customers are using this in the BMW X3. I don't know if that's true or not in the previous generation. And then second of all, I was told that if you were to integrate one that slides out, you will lose some headroom space, especially in the back. And we're going to take a look at that in a second. I do like the paddles. It's got this new design. Looks quite cool, quite sporty. I'm not sure if it's standard or it's part of a package. Let me move to the back seat. So it's now I've adjusted my driving position so you get a better idea of the space there. So if I go in the back, here we go. So I mean, right there, I mean, honestly, a lot of space. I can't compare it to the BMW iX, but considering that the iX, it's similar in size to the BMW X5, a little bit bigger, I'm assuming you're getting similar space in a smaller car, and I like this quite a bit. I know we're talking about 4 fingers, about 4 inches, maybe 6-7 centimeters of knee room. Of course, the seats are sculpted in, so that's nice if you need to stretch out. Headroom, honestly, more than enough. I have about 5-6 fingers. I don't know, that's 7-8-9 centimeters. Plenty of headroom. I'm 1.9 meters tall, 6'2"-ish, almost 6'3". So that will give you an idea of how tall I am and how much space you have in here. Space for 3. What I like about this bench is the fact that it's adjustable. So you can actually adjust the angle. So you can see this is the normal position. Now, if I want to get more angle, be a little bit more comfortable, pull it, go back. And there you go. You can see it even more back. But even with the seat, let's go back to this more upright position. You can see I'm not losing a lot of headroom. So plenty of headroom, nothing to worry about, despite having that coupe-ish roof line in the back, which gives the car a very attractive look from the side. In the back, something you expect to see in cars today. You have these hooks right here for additional accessories. You got 2 USB-Cs right there, so you can control the temperature from that space there too. I do like the bench. It is sculpted in the middle here, essentially like the iX, because if you're traveling with somebody right here, they get additional space for their legs too. So overall, typical BMW design in the back, nothing that surprises me. You have this, you can also lower this if you want to. I'm going to show you just this side, but you can individually put down every single seat to get additional space in the car. So that's that. Let me show you another cool thing that I noticed when I was shooting something for social. If you look at the seat belt, well, you know, they usually bang against the plastic and it's kind of like annoying, you know, like you take your seat belt off. Let me show you because I did it before and I was like, oh, I'm gonna scratch the car. So basically take it off and you just drop it there. Well, that's not very elegant. So they decided to do this where you can actually just nicely sliding in there so it's not going to bang around as you drive. So nice touch, BMW, not bad. Seat design, as you can see, perforated right there. We also got this new interpretation of the design of the seats, a lot of stitching. This part is split from the top, and then of course you got the same headrest as at the front, a little bit scooped in so you can rest your head right there. So that's pretty much when it comes to the interior design. Let's talk about the specs right now. So I'm going to hop out. I'm going to grab my notebook, because there are a lot of things that I don't remember. So if you see me reading off that, it's because they were just telling me that information. Okay, so let's see what I remember off the top of my head. So BMW iX3 50, it's a dual motor. It makes 470 horsepower, 645 Newton meters of torque. It goes from 0 to 62 miles per hour, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.9 seconds. The range is actually 800 kilometers on the WLTP. The EPA standard, it's not finalized yet, the EPA rating. So you're getting around 400 miles from what I was told. And if you're in China, you're getting 900 kilometers of range on that cycle. Charging, quite important, 800 volts architecture. So you're able to get about 350 kilometers of range in just 10 minutes. Now, 10 to 80% takes about 21 minutes and you're getting 560 kilometers of range. Let's see what else I'm missing. Battery capacity, 108 kilowatts hour. So that's in the 50 model. Top speed, 210 kilometers per hour. And once again, the efficiency, it's 15 kilowatts hour per 100 kilometers. Let's see what else I have here. So let's talk about the colors. There are actually quite a few. There will be 1 solid paint finish and 5 metallic paint finishes from the start of production, including a new polarized gray metallic and ocean wave blue metallic. It says here in my notes, there will be another 3 metallic shades available in the spring of 2026. The car is offered with an M Sport package, as you see here today, but there'll also be a regular trim as well. So the driver assistant feature is the level 2 plus, has been improved quite a bit. I did a very long video from Miramar, so once again, I'm going to leave that in the description as well to watch it, because there are a lot of new features that comes with level 2 plus compared to what you're getting today in other BMWs. Launch time. So the car goes into production later this year in Debrecen, Hungary. March 26 is when the sales start in Europe. I don't have an exact month. I was told summer 26 for USA. China also in the summer. And the orders for this car for Europe starts on September 5th. The price, German price, which is 68,900 euros for the 50 model. There will be an iX3 base model. They didn't tell me exactly what's the model name, but I think it's iX3 45, and that's going to be around 60,000 euros. So this is in a nutshell the BMW iX3. Of course, there's a lot more to explore about this car. Unfortunately, due to time today, I'm not going to be able to go in all the details, but I want to give you like a quick overview. I'm going to have a second video coming out from the IAA in Munich, the Munich Auto Show. I'm going to take a look at different iX3 models. And then later this year, I have a chance to drive this particular model once again. Of course, at some point, there will be an iX3 M60, which would be the M performance version of the car. I've talked about this in the past, but so far I don't have any official information on that, so we'll cover that next year. So with that being said, this is the BMW iX3 live from Munich. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.